Today I am so excited because we are going to be diving into my good friend Allie's space. It's a small studio, but we're going to kick it off with her living room, and it is all thanks to my friends over at HelloFresh, but I'll dive into how much I love them a little bit later. So not to be repetitive with footage, but I don't want to show you the final space yet. You saw it in the thumbnail. You can tell that it's very dark. There's not a lot of light that comes in. She has a solid door. The color's green. Everything's very cluttered, but my main goal with this makeover was not to just do it for her and surprise her, but I wanted to get her involved and empower her to own her space. This process of making over someone's space is fairly new to me, so the first thing that I like to do is ask them what their priority is. And Alie said that the main priority off the get-go was to invest in a door that had a window. I went ahead and installed that, but I also had her paint some samples on the wall and determine what color she liked the most. It actually is the exact same color I used on my parents' bathroom, which is called White Wool by Behr Paint. I have linked everything that I possibly can, along with my HelloFresh code we're about to dive into, down below in the description box for you. If you have seen any of my room makeovers, you know my first two things that I like to do are paint the room and change the light fixture, because those are two things that you can do to change a space drastically overnight. Speaking of changing light fixtures, Alie has this boob ceiling light that I am not a fan of, so I instantly swapped that out for a light fixture I actually already had on hand. Another side goal of mine with this was to donate all of the decor that I've been hoarding for years, and ironically, a lot of it started to work in Allie's space, like this light fixture, so we didn't have to spend money there, which is great. We can save the budget for something that she was more interested in. After I did all of this, I decided to call it a day, and when I got home, I actually didn't have to freak out and scramble for dinner, and that is because this video, as I mentioned, is sponsored by my friends over at HelloFresh. But let me walk you through a couple of things, you guys. It is life-changing. I am addicted. The one thing that really steals the show and works for me in my lifestyle is that HelloFresh does all the meal planning, shopping, and prepping. So I don't have to feel guilty when I'm working, because I sit down, I choose the meal plan for my family that works. I get to go in and pick out these recipes that I don't have to search for. They have these Hall of Famers that you literally can never go wrong with. And on top of it all, not only does this contribute to healthier me, it contributes to a healthier and a happier family, which is great when I'm legitimately gone all day. I also found that when I come home and I'm like doing dinner on my own, that takes honestly hours because I'm not good at cooking whatsoever. But since all these HelloFresh meals come together in a 30 minutes max time and call for less than 2 pots and pans, it requires minimal cleanup, and just the whole process is very enjoyable and just really easy. At the end of the day, what I enjoy the most about this is because Paul, Heaven, and I are very repetitive with what we eat. We could eat the same thing every day, which is not good. Being introduced to HelloFresh and being able to work with them, I really realized that you can get out of that recipe rut, and I can start cooking outside of my comfort zone by discovering new and delicious recipes, but I'm not too intimidated to try them because it's all just right there for me, so why not go for it? There are 3 plans to choose from. You got your classic, veggie, and your family. Do not worry, because if your taste buds start to change or the mini humans like in something different, you're able to switch between the plans to accommodate you and your family's taste buds. Cooking with HelloFresh throughout the week, I really started to notice that I'm getting the best value, a delicious choice, and quite frankly, experiencing food that I typically wouldn't go for or cook, like this pork and veggie bibimbap. And on top of all of that, HelloFresh is now from $6.99 per serving. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, maybe you're afraid to take the dive. I got you. Get started with 8 free meals. That's $80 off your first month of HelloFresh by following the link down below, hellofresh.com, and entering my promo code METZ80. Not only did I feed my family that is with me every night, but I fed my cousin who was in from Minnesota, and you're about to see is joining this whole girl power movement right here, and got me so excited. Alie, myself, and my cousin Gabby, who is filming right here, we all headed out to just go and shop for decor for this space, but then they just wanted to get involved and start to learn how to do things like Gabby replaced the front door handle, Alie started putting together a piece of furniture, just things they typically wouldn't do, but dominated. The reason I wanted to bring Alie in was not just to do it for her and show her like, oh, look at what I can do, how I can transform your space, but to teach her, hey, you deserve a beautiful space. And not only do you deserve it, but look at you learning how to create a space like that so you can continue to evolve your place even after I leave and it's done. You get to have that empowerment. I know sometimes we have to settle and we have a budget and we got to make do with what is available, but there are these small tweaks that you can do. Obviously here it's a little bit of a larger makeover, but there really are these small tweaks you can do to have a rhyme and reason for your space, to have moments, breaths of fresh air, and to have it reflecting what you're feeling on the inside, no matter what your budget is. Random tip also, if you're renting and those gold door handles are just like out of control, remove them, save the hardware, and replace it with something different, like this black one I did here. It automatically chics up your space. As I continued to add the final details, because finishing touches I did not want Alie to see, I had the opportunity to really channel everything I learned about her decor-wise, even though I've known her since I was 15, and implement that into the space. A bunch of plants, some fake, some real, a salt lamp, of course, some signage, because you have to add those little personal touches that just make your space yours. So when people come in, they're like, oh my gosh, that sign, oh yeah, that's always at Alie's. It's so cute. Remember how I said that I tried to donate as much decor as I was hoarding away in my garage to Alie as possible that would fit her space? Well, that led to being able to purchase a new couch, which she's been dying for, and I am so pumped for her. This room is very neutral and the pops of colors live within the plants, but that is because you can see the kitchen when you walk through her front door. We are planning to redo her kitchen, and I think a lot of color is going to live in there, so I didn't want to overdo it in the living room right before it. It'd just be too much. When you're living in a small space, it's always nice to have a lot of storage, and you can do that by getting functional furniture. This ottoman opens right on up, and it has storage underneath, which you would never know. And the reason that we chose an ottoman versus a coffee table, because Alie believes she'll get more use out of this ottoman than a normal coffee table. Two reasons why you see curtains. One, there is a door that enters the house from which she is renting from that is never used. And number two, we got thicker ones that are more soundproof because their living room is right on the other side of the wall and you can hear the TV when it's on. Decided to keep everything light and fresh because this room doesn't have any other windows and didn't have one before, but the only window it has directly into here is through the front door. Also love that I'm able to tuck away Stitch's leash and collar that she doesn't typically keep on him, but she used to just keep kind of like on the ground or just wherever, hidden behind the door when it is open. The living room is a little bit on the minimal side, these two walls over here, and that's because, as I mentioned before, we are going to be redoing the kitchen. I don't know the decor situation in there yet, and I didn't want to have to make over 2 rooms because I would get inspired again from redoing the kitchen. The black shelving unit that you saw underneath the TV in the previous shot, she actually had that in her bedroom, which is again overwhelmed by large furniture, and I decided to pull it out and repurpose it for the living room for even more storage. We did add some personality and personal touches, even more so on this side because we got 2 black and white photos framed of her puppies, and oh, I love it. You know I love me a dog gallery wall of some sort. I hope that you guys enjoyed this small living room makeover, but I really hope you enjoyed watching someone become empowered, taking charge of their space, and just coming in and leading me in the direction of what they want and allowing me to help them and assist them to get to that reality. And thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video, because without you guys, honestly, my family would have gone on a strike with how much I worked on this space. I'll see you next Wednesday for another DIY.